All right, welcome back to the career build series. This is part 38. So, quickly kind of go over what happened here. So, I just actually figured it out. It was kind of stupid, but I ended up so I deleted all my career saves, and what I'm going to do is I think this will actually kind of be cool. Help people learn. I was noticing a lot of people on Reddit and the forums and all over the place are struggling with some of these XML things, editing your game files. And so, anyways, what happened was, if you look on my YouTube, you'll see um, it's titled Stormworks Tsunami WTF. And so I was recording the video for, I think it was part 30, must have been part 38 of. It was me taking a container from our newly purchased spy cakes to Komodo, and a tsunami hits. And I'm like, dude, I shut these off. So I went through, and Strunner on New Jersey Discord helped me kind of find the file for it, and it was I found where that is. And so all it was I forgot to do a checkbox, and both of us, are experienced in the game and didn't know where this was. So what I figured I'd do is I'll start a new save, and I'll show you how to quote unquote cheat in some money. And then I'll go back in the boat, and I'll just travel, and I'll go buy those islands again, and then I'll fix the money so it's where we would have been. And that way we'll have, it will essentially be back to where we were. Um, so let's go ahead and let's go new game. I copied the seed number, so it was 21852. So that's going to give us the same island position. So we want career, starter base. Let's get rid of enable weapons DLC now. Let's go to enable add-ons. So one thing I would recommend is when you start a game, click on these. All right, you'll notice it allows you to change things like AI count, default AI, Arctic missions. You'll notice some of them have nothing. But coming down here, we found where the actual issue is. So default mission locations. When you click on default mission locations, even if you have natural disasters off, you still have on natural disaster missions. So let's shut those off. All right, so let's go through make sure we go through all of them. Natural disasters. I'm going to shut this off, so you probably don't need to enable sirens, but I'm going to do that anyways, just to make sure, so that's off. So going through these is good. Default tutorial I want off. Weapons AI I want off. So that's my settings here. So definitely make sure if you don't want any natural disasters on, which I don't, they tend to screw a bunch of things up. Come in, click on default mission locations, make sure that's deselected. All right, let's go back. All right, so let's go ahead and confirm that. All right, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to cheat, quote unquote, cheat in some money. And I'm going to change. So I actually had an issue where I couldn't start my boat, and I'm like, dude, I know this boat works, and I couldn't start my my ship mover. I'm like, dude, I know this works. Why isn't it working? So one of the issues I had was I changed a setting, and I forgot about it and how it was going to make me have to change how I operated. Okay, so we have that saved. So now let's go back. I'm just going to go to the main menu. All right, and let's go. I'm going to open up my folder here. So desktop for me, Windows nonsense. Saves, career build series, scene. It's going to pop up for me, Notepad++. Now, if we look, we have mission difficulties 1. That, I think, will go up after a while. Let's go here to currency. We have currently, we have 20,000. I'm going to click it again. That's 200,000. That should give us enough to go buy those islands. And then what I'll do is we were supposed to have 69.8 with both Rijou and the barge in the world. So what I'm going to do is figure out the cost of Rijou, the cost of the barge, and then add that to 69,000. That should give us how much money we should have had. All right, and let me show you where the issue was here. So right here, I changed a setting. Where is it? Auto refuel, I made false. Okay, I couldn't start my vehicles because they didn't have any fuel in them. I turned that off, and I forgot about that was off, and so my vehicles did not have any fuel in them. So that's how you change your money. So for example, they're gonna come out with a new they're gonna come out with a new update on Thursday, I believe, for the underwater update. So I want the save to have that. Well, you might have to do a new save to get that, which is often the case. Well, all I have to do is look at our money and then essentially, change the money value, and then I have enough money. So the other thing is, say you wanted to use Vigeot and you didn't want to have to you're starting your own career game. You didn't want to have to go do 5 missions to get enough money to spawn it. You could just put in the money if you needed to, or if you really want to play with this big ship and that's going to be fun to you, you can put in the money for a career save. The other thing to check here is active playlists are those things you selected here. So just kind of peruse them, make sure they look good, which they do. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. All right, I'm actually going to reopen it just to double check. So money is good. Auto refuel's false, so that's good. All right, I'm going to take the game up and I'm going to load career build series. And we're going to check and make sure the money is in. So the money should be in. And when I go to start Vigeot, it should not start. That's going to tell us that the auto refuel is not working, which is what we want. So I talked about this before. I want to make it so that I have to manually manage my fuel. And so it's not too hard, because if you look over here, we have this refueling station here. Currently it has 16,000 liters stored. All right, so that should last us a very long time. So let's open up, where we go. Vigeot, I think, is episode 36. Let's do this to make sure. Yep, episode 36 is the latest version. So let's spawn it. All right, so I did kind of the classic thing is, boat won't start, empty fuel. Okay, so make sure you're checking that, especially, so we're going to play with this. I think this would be kind of cool to have to refill some of the things in this mode. Let's pump there. I don't know which direction. Flow rate, if we reverse the pumps on, reverse the flow, negative liters per minute. That's going the wrong way. That should be positive. Let's check and make sure we're getting fuel. So that will go down. We have to worry about refilling that. So we can refill that with our barge. So what we'll do is at some point we can fill the barge up with diesel. We can take diesel off the barge. We'll have to put a pump on there. But we can also bring it to our different bases and fill up with that. So we might actually have a barge that we keep filled with diesel. And if we need to move our diesel around. So still have a little list on this. I might just throw a couple blocks on there, get it ballasted. But let's check our fuel. There we go. That was scary. That scared me. I have that way too loud. Let me just go in these settings here and change it. Audio. Just go master down to 30 for now. That way it's a little bit less loud. Okay, so why is that low on gallons? Do I lose the money if I recall this vehicle? Let me see. Did I? You know what it is? I didn't redo the fuel tank. Do I have an autosave? Let's look. Nope. Okay, I screwed up. I lost an autosave. It's not a huge deal. Just lost that fuel tank, so that's fine. I'm gonna spawn this again. Again, we have cheated money in here, so if this doesn't spawn with fuel, would be right. I think it gives us money back for that fuel. I hope so. So that's still set up correctly. This should pump. All right, so let's fill our fuel tanks. So part of this too is I want to leave these in the world more. I'll only recall them if I'm going to work on something. So that was kind of the making the mooring buoys was part of that. There we go. Look at that. Got mad ups. All right, so I'm not going to make you guys suffer through this or watch this. I'm going to head off to Komodo. I'm going to put on the autopilot, and I'm just going to go do some other stuff. And what we'll do is in episode, it is super loud. In episode, why is it odd? Why is it doing that? Okay. For some reason I have to do it there. Okay, that's really uber weird. Uber weird. go like that. Okay, that's a little bit better. But let's go there and let's go. Alright. That's a little bit better so I can talk over it, not have to yell. So what I'll do is I'll come back in episode 39 and try to think what we want to do. We could move a container. That's an option. Maybe we'll take the Mac out and do some coal. Try to decide what I want to do. We have some good space now. We can launch some ground vehicles here. Might be fun to go do a coal mission if the Mac is up to it. Kind of get a different vehicle. And I don't want to take too many of my pre-built vehicles that I already have from before, just because that's you know, part of the series. I want to kind of see how you can build your own vehicles and get them going. So let's actually set a waypoint for here. You know, I kind of want you guys to be able to follow me through on these and see where they're at. So, no, that's not what I want. I want that. Okay. So that should take 12 minutes. So I'm not going to make you guys watch it. All I'm going to do is I'm going to head here, buy Komodo. I'm going to head here, buy spy cakes. I'm going to calculate the money that we should have. I'm going to fix it. So I need to see what Visual cost, what that does. I think what we'll do in 39 is I need to fix the fuel tanks that I screwed up by not saving the craft, and I will I'll also yeah, so I'll fix the fuel tanks. I'll also add that depth gauge. I've been talking about adding on the Lewis screen here a depth gauge, so just to show the depth on the keel, so we know if our anchor's gonna make it down or not, kind of tell us how shallow we are. So I think we'll do that in 39. We'll just do a little bit of a build video. All right, we'll see you then. Bye.